episode is going to be?
This is going to be the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial, that mess of a trial.
She fired her whole PR team.
Well,
because she said they weren't doing enough to get all the negative headline. See, she hasn't taken the stand, though, yet. This thing was front-loaded in his favor.
Gonna.
Oh, she is.
Oh, okay.
She's not going to let him go up there and tell his side of the story and not get up.
This whole thing, I mean, Johnny Depp, call him what you want, but he's not stupid. He felt that his career was in shambles and he had nothing to lose. And the best thing you could do in situations like this...
But he already lost a case in England. That's why I don't understand why to go through all this again. I think he can't...
He wants people to exploit it. And they will.
What do you mean?
If you put it up on TV, people will sell advertising for it.
No, he didn't get any part of that.
No,
what I'm saying is
I understand that.
You're talking about a $50 million case here. Why go through all this? I know he's going full steam ahead because he's like, look, my career's over. Hers is going to be over too. I just don't know why they didn't revert to their corners and figure it out quietly. He already lost one case. I think this guy thinks, I'm going to show them.
No. I think he's saying that he's willing to be humiliated as long as he can work again. So he's saying, listen, I'll lay it all out on the table. I have nothing to lose. You guys can get your content out of this. My life is crazy.
Did you see any of the clips where her lawyer was reading his texts or making him? God, these
texts were. I heard some of those.
Brutal.
They were rough.
Did you see?
See you next Tuesday, and I hope she's burned in the trunk of a car and all that stuff. It's like, I understand these highly volatile relationships, especially between rich and famous people, each of whom have got more than a few screws loose. But holy cow.
Yeah, I've never wished death upon anybody.
I would certainly never put it in writing. I mean,
exactly.
I'm sure that you don't.
Exactly.
I'm sure you can't foresee that down the road. But like, there's Paul Bettany, that poor guy was like buddies with him, and he's like, getting.
He doesn't want to be part of this. He's like, I'm just trying to keep my career going.
Yeah, he's like I knew Johnny Depp before Amber Heard was even in the picture.
Did you see the testimony from the guy that was driving, and then he was vaping during his testimony?
Yeah.
And then Johnny Depp lost it. He was like, this dude don't care. He was laughing, and I'm like, in situations like this,
but also those people
have to laugh.
But those people aren't necessarily going to help you. Those kinds of people can hurt your case. If the jury thinks Johnny Depp is just like freewheeling and, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't understand any of it. I don't understand why you would televise this. Unless it's an ego thing where he's like, I'm going to show the public that I don't get it, man.
It's my humble opinion. He is doing this because the best way to get back in Hollywood's good graces is allow them to make money off of your misfortune. So
but how are they making money? Who's making money?
All these news organizations are playing the clips. They can sell advertising from that. They can post it on their website. That will get clicks. It's all over YouTube. Somebody, somewhere, some way. As long as you're recording,
right? What I'm saying is,
making money off
they can make They can take the money and run. I think you're overestimating the amount of money to be made in this, but they can take the money and run. They don't owe him. Hollywood in giant letters doesn't owe him anything.
But the trial also, he didn't need to sue, and the trial, he didn't have to give the go-ahead for it to be publicized.
That's what I'm saying. He already lost overseas. I think this guy, it's an ego thing.
No,
He's
I
like,
think it's an ego thing, but
there's no way I'm going to let this.
Kind of with Poundcake on this one, I think it is a strategy to start his comeback story.
It's humiliation, and they want to see like, okay, you've proved yourself that you really want to get back in the spotlight. No one will do all that.
You've taken your licks,
exactly.
And then you can go. You have this happen, and then
you allowed us to exploit the situation.
You go away for another year, and then you get to come back and be like, oh, here's Johnny Depp's big comeback.
But
role.
Doesn't this just prolong all that? After he lost the first case, he could have quietly gone away and then...
No, because it was overseas.
He could have banked that time to be quiet, and he would have been that much closer to his comeback.
There wasn't as much spectacle.
It wasn't, yeah.
This is... Everybody is talking about this.
I mean, we're not.
We've talked about it. Yeah. We've been talking about this a bunch.
What?
Yeah. And so then people go, oh, yeah. And they don't remember what exactly is the case. They go, I remember not liking her and reaffirming that I do like Johnny Depp. So then when he comes out with a movie in a couple years, they go, yeah, I want to go see that. I would like to support Johnny Depp again.
It's strategy, and he is right. If he has nothing to lose, he doesn't think he's going to win the defamation case. I don't think that's what he thinks, because defamation is really hard to prove, because you have to show malice.
You mean he just wants to engender sympathy?
Can he prove the defecation?
I think that has been proven. The grumpy.
Drop the grumpy.
So yeah, in my humble opinion, he has already been pulled out of a movie and cost people millions of dollars and hundreds of jobs. This is a way for him to show, listen, I'm really sorry. I'm humiliated. My career's over, but this is my way of saying, I'm still in this game. I'm willing to do whatever it takes.
But that's also very Depp-centric. I mean, she is the other person in this case. And I think she's got a higher hill to climb. Because she's a hot woman in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. There's plenty of. She's got to hope that the female jurors don't hate her guts. She can't look too happy. She can't go in there looking sexy.
Well,
she's got to go in there looking like a school marm. And I just don't know why you would do all. I understand. I'm just saying I don't know why you would go through all this.
Again,
they could have gone through it without the cameras.
No, he has to work, and the only way I feel like from Hollywood standards, let people make money off of it, and then they don't care what you do. Just same thing with the Charlie Sheen thing. He allowed people to.
The guy's not broke. B, you got to pay lawyers. There's this petition going around trying to get her out of the Aquaman sequel.
I think we should get everybody out of that sequel. I don't think anybody should have to be in another Aquaman movie.
I didn't see the first one.
It did okay in the box office, but it was not good.
I've only seen him as Aquaman in the Zack Snyder Justice League movie. Yeah. I didn't see Aquaman. There's a sheriff down in. We've played clips of this guy before. Grady Judd is the Polk County Sheriff down in Florida, the Ohio of the South. And a volunteer officer in Polk County was caught selling Oxy out of his patrol car. And undercover officers caught wind of it and tried to buy Oxy from him. He was selling 90 pills a month at $10 a pop. The undercover cops offered him 12. And Grady Judd, always good for a soundbite or two.
I am hotter than a bare butt on a tin roof in August. Our undercover says, you in the Popo car? He goes, yeah. He won't be in it for long, but he's in it now.
Yeah. Hi, a Popo car? So I don't know what the situation is with volunteer officers, but is law enforcement doing any vetting of people, by the way?
No.
Is it just anybody who wants to be a cop can go be a cop? Because they're like, we're really embarrassed. We found out that this guy had been in prison on weapons and drug charges. You could probably Google the guy before he becomes a volunteer
Right.
officer and figure that out. So there's no vetting going on anywhere.
That's probably why he wants to be a volunteer officer, so he can get inside sources.
Oh, yeah, clearly for him.
Right.
But these stories are not endemic to Florida. Nobody's, cornered the market on this. Is there anybody who just goes, I want to be a cop? Are they to the point now where they just don't check anything? They just go, all right. Not like local law enforcement has any issues around the country. Grady Judd said, makes me so crazy I want to pluck my eyeballs out one at a time. David Roberts was the volunteer officer. And they found out that, he was a convicted felon from 52 years ago. He was arrested for a burglary when he's 19 years old.
Can you be a cop if you're a felon?
I don't think so.
Even if it was that long ago?
I don't
hey,
think
I was
so.
19, you know what I mean?
I mean, if you have like weapons charges and stuff, I mean, I don't think that. But again, who knows?
Who knows, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the rules.
Probably depends from county to county, I'm sure.
I feel like those are federal charges. Like, that's not a. I don't know.
But also,
Is anybody watching?
You can find out pretty easily if you want to.
Hard to figure out. I'm almost done with Dope Sick. Has anybody been watching Dope Sick?
No.
The Hulu miniseries about the OxyContin, about the suing Purdue Pharma, and the cast on this thing is unbelievable. Michael Keaton's in it, and Rosario Dawson,
I will.
and
I like him.
Yeah, it's really, really good, but it's so depressing. Because it's about the OxyContin, wave.
When I stayed the night over Erica's house Saturday night, I started watching the Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee
It's so good.
Hulu series. I did not know that. Is that guy's real penis?
No.
No, the one that's talking.
Sebastian Stan.
Well, obviously I know that was fake, but like
No, those are like all prosthetics. That's not her real body.
No, they made them look like that.
the boobs are fake.
They're fake, yeah.
Oh wow, good work.
right.
Yeah.
The power of Hollywood. Okay.
Oh, they put prosthetics on her face to
On
like
everything,
make her
yeah.
face look like Pam Anderson.
Yeah.
Sebastian Stan is so hot.
He is pretty
and he
hot.
makes a good Tommy Lee too.
Well, I was very unfamiliar with who Tommy Lee was outside of like I've heard his name, and when we were watching it, I googled him and I said the same thing. I was like, "Damn, he nailed it!" Like this guy. My boyfriend was like, "Yeah, why do you think they picked him?" Like that's what happens. They pick actors who look like the guy.
Sebastian Stan's in a wild movie called Fresh on Hulu. Anybody watch Fresh? I don't want to give too much away, but it's worth a watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the movie that Gwen told me to look up when she was here?
Behind the Green Door. No, I don't know. What was it about?
I don't remember. She told me it and went in one ear out the other. I meant to write it down.
Oh, come on. It
He
didn't
doesn't
go in
listen to
any
the show.
way.
Come on.
It
Didn't
did.
even get in.
It did.
Well, whether or not it did, if it went in one ear and out the other, you know, there was nothing stopping it on the way out. So it's just a straight shot
Nothing,
through. No, I don't know. I don't recall
No
either.
obstacles.
What- yeah.
Okay.
Maybe she'll tell me, and then I'll pass it along to you. Alan Cox Show After Hours line for anybody who wants to leave voicemail. 216-986-8903.
Hey, Al, Ron from Talmadge. I'm currently in New York City, and mere minutes into my first day here, an old lady called me an a-hole in the subway. And I realized that by being the bigger person and shrugging it off, that I've robbed myself of the opportunity to call her an old crone. I'm leaving today, and I'm going to try to recreate the situation because I want that quintessential NYC experience. Later.
Recreate the situation. I like that notion. I'm going to piss off an old lady so I can call her an old crone.
Hell yeah.
The lady I called an old crone last summer was offering unsolicited advice
About what?
about my mask.
Oh.
Yeah. And I called her an old crone because I didn't ask for anything from
Yeah.
her, right? Getting called an a-hole on the New York subway,
That just comes with territory.
it's a rite of passage.
Right.
Did you see the dude who got stabbed in the chest and killed at the Times Square Dave & Buster's?
Whoa.
Right. I mean, it's right around the corner from Port Authority, but it sounded like these dudes knew each other. A 39-year-old guy was stabbed in the chest by another dude at Dave & Buster's in Times Square. They were where you go to turn in your tickets
Yeah.
to get your,
No, don't cut in line, man.
Yeah.
4,000 tickets to get a gumball.
Oh,
They
get
got a
that.
pretty good
I don't
racket
want
over
a
there.
Chinese finger trap.
I'll get
Yeah.
that pocket knife.
They got into a verbal dispute in the ticket redemption area, and the dude stabbed the other guy in the chest. And I guess they saw, people in charge saw something on camera and went out and flagged down some cops.
Man.
And the dude died at the hospital. I don't know what he was trying to get. I don't know, the Dave and again, these things can happen anywhere, obviously. But for people who are like, Times Square is fun, let's go to, if
But that's also why I'm
if
not.
he had just gone to Applebee's next door, this
But
would
like
have
that's
never
also
happened.
why I'm not like argumentative in situations like that.
No.
Like if someone's like, "It's my turn to go first," I'm like, "Go ahead."
This is clearly
I'm not-
more important
yeah.
to you than it is to me.
I don't need to get in a fight with
Right.
somebody, even if he doesn't have a knife. I don't need. If it's that big a deal, go ahead. I'll be all right. I'll get my stuffed animal.
The guy, the suspect, has nearly a dozen prior gun and gang busts. The two of them got into a beef over a prize box at around 11 o'clock at night.
That's insane.
The surveillance video says that the guy was trying to put a box back on the shelf, and it fell near the other guy.
Just near him.
And the guy got really mad, punched him, and then pulled something out and stabbed him in the chest.
Jeez. Okay, so this isn't even a situation where this guy was just wanting to stab somebody, basically.
He's
I
probably
guess.
hammered, too.
Happened near him, and he's just like, okay, stabby time.
But the guy was with. They said the guy was with a woman and some children.
The guy that died? Or
the guy that stabbed the other dude.
Oh.
That's a guy
That's another thing that'll push you over the edge.
That's a guy who's angry all the time.
Yeah, that's a guy that wants to stab the wife or the kids, and he's like, I'll just go with this guy that dropped something near me.
I gotta stab somebody. They just opened a big old Hard Rock hotel in Times Square, by the way, too, if you're planning a trip to New York City anytime this year. Those Hard Rock hotels, we stayed in the one in Chicago a couple of times when we'd be in town for something. And those are pretty legit. They do a good job, yeah. The Hard Rock cafes aren't really a thing anymore in a lot of places.
Yeah, they kind of shifted their focus.
Yeah, they did. But the hotels they're not bad. They ain't cheap. But, you know.
Well, maybe the three of us can pool together and we'll get one room.
Let's go.
With one bed.
Let's hang out. Wait, what?
We can't afford what Alan affords.
I'm going to get my own.
He's going to Nickelodeon Resort.
Yeah.
He's going to... You know,
we finally get a show trip. It's been years since we've gone anywhere. We finally get a show trip, and Ellen puts himself in one room and goes, "Hey, by the way, the three of you are sharing a double queen. It'll be $2,000."
No, I wouldn't say that, but I would get my own room. It's only $475 a night.
It's not.
It's not bad.
Come on.
No,
$75 a night.
It's
right
more money
there
than I make it a week here.
Huh?
So that's more money than I make it a week here.
I don't know what to tell you. But that's, no, if we were on a show trip, I would say...
Put on Bob iHeart Media.
No, if we were on, if we were paying for ourselves or whatever, I would
That's not a show
get my own
trip.
room.
That's not a show trip.
It's not a show trip if we're paying for ourselves.
A show trip is different than show lodging.
Yeah, they pay for the broadcasting.
That's right.
You have a $10 tab. Figure out how to eat on that.
It's a per diem.
You'd be able to do that.
I could,
You'd know how to do it.
You guys got a Wendy's on site?
I love Wendy's.
Anything bad happen at this Dave & Buster's? Right around from the Port Authority?
Where are we show tripping now that you bring it up?
Gwen told Poundcake about some kidnapped kid. Oh, yeah, Captive Audience was the documentary on Hulu, yeah. Okay. Where are we what?
Show tripping. Hawaii!
You tripping all right.
Bro,
Man,
let's go do a week of shows in Hawaii.
They tell me. I don't tell anyone.
You tell them.
These junkets don't happen. Everybody's cut their budgets way, way back. These companies don't do junkets
So with all the
anymore.
money they're saving, they can afford to send us to Hawaii for
I don't
a
think
week.
you're understanding what I'm saying.
I think I know exactly. We have so many Maui bureau chiefs that would like to see us.
Well, we don't need the Maui people. Well, we need
They can't
the people
even
to follow us there.
They can't even get the Corona cruise taken care of. You think we're going to get sent? Yes. You think we're going to get sent anywhere?
I don't know.
No, these companies are like, oh, our budgets. Budgets.
It was almost like
budget.
Listen, I feel like the people who need, we just need to pick different sponsors, people who need good PR right now. So we pick like Spirit.
We
or
have
Frontier.
I'll tell you what, I've worked at a lot of radio stations with a lot of sales people. A lot of them bad, a lot of them good. We have a great sales department at this radio station. So when they tell me we can't get any movement on this, I believe them because they know what they're doing. You go ahead and call them.
I'll call them. I'll say, hey, hey, is this Hawaii?
Hey, is this Joe Corona?
Hawaii?
Is this Hawaii?
Did you guys know about batteries? Let me tell you something else you need to know. Alan Cox Show, broadcasting live.
They're like, you're talking to us in sentence fragments. What? Do you guys know about batteries? Alan Cox Show. What?
That should be the new message.
Pass the poi, Mahalo.
I'll never forget the day that I got that email that we were going to Jamaica. It was like a high.
Must have been nice.
It was
it was great.
It's before I was here.
Yeah.
I can't be mad.
You went to Arizona while I was still here, so there you go.
Yeah.
But you had to pay for that.
And trust me,
it was hammered.
I pushed hard to get Poundcake off that Jamaica trip.
Do not let this happen.
I said, do not.
he almost got himself taken off.
I will tell you what will happen.
Almost got sold on the black market.
And they said, it'll be fine. I said, okay. And I was 100% correct. But it all worked out, right? He didn't get to, he got stuck in the mud. Another guy got stuck in the mud. It was a great time all the way around. I've got to take a break. If you want to get the last word in, shoot me a text, 35192. Jason Carr up at 6:30. No Tribe game tonight. They're back at home tomorrow. And we'll be back.